The question today is, does China want to be in charge of cyberspace? That appears to be the direction a new report leaked out of the Chinese government, obtained by military officials and diplomats in the U.S., seems to say. Bill Gertz is an author and journalist. He's with the Washington Free Beacon, columnist with the Washington Times. He obtained a copy of the report, joins us now to talk about it. And Mr. Gertz, your write-up on this, scary and fascinating, both at the same time. What were your initial thoughts when you saw it?
Well, I thought this is the first time that we've seen some internal Chinese documents revealing plans for cyber warfare. This is one of the most secret programs within China, and yet this research institute near Shanghai talked about conducting cyber warfare as well as space warfare. So this is an important breakthrough for understanding what's behind a lot of the military elements of China's cyber warfare program.
When I was in the reserves, our version of your National Guard, one of the first things they taught us, I was in communications, and I thought that was the safe job. Sit in a radio van, talk to people, be on the precursor to the internet, the teletype machine. And they said, no. They will bomb a 1 kilometer grid square to take out radio vans, because if you control communications, you win the battle. And in today's modern technology, the battle is in cyberspace. Here's, I want to read a quote from the report that you have in your report. This is from the study on cyber warfare from the Chinese Defense Department. It says, as cyber technology continues to develop, cyber warfare has quietly begun. With the reliance of information warfare on space, cyberspace will surely become a hotspot in the struggle for cyberspace control. It ensures its own control at will, while at the same time uses cyberspace to disable, weaken, disrupt, and destroy the enemy's cyber actions or cyber installations. Are we talking about, at this point, trying to take out satellites? Are we talking about trying to disrupt BlackBerry and smartphone communications, take down email systems? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, the Chinese paper talks specifically about space warfare in this sense that it said the outer nodes of the communications network, that is the cyberspace, are in outer space. And this is the most vulnerable area for the United States. In other words, if you take out a few satellites, you can severely disrupt the U.S. military's ability to do what they call command and control. That is data link warfare. In fact, I got a second document that revealed discussions about this, the idea of not just network-centric warfare, but data link-centered warfare, attacking the enemy's command and control systems, and that way defeating them by preventing them from being able to mobilize and use their forces in joint arms warfare.
This is, this comes on as your country is dealing with the NSA. We were talking earlier about, our elections, so-called watchdog. They want to set up internet voting, online voting for general elections. That could be taken over by this. You could see the NSA eclipsed by China. But this could also lead to warfare where not a shot is fired, but there's severe damage to a country's economy, their ability to produce anything, their ability to communicate.
Absolutely. We've become such an information-centered society that the internet is becoming so vital. Just the other day, my internet went down at my house, and I was unable to communicate in so many different ways. So this is clearly a new strategic vulnerability, this idea of being able to conduct attacks using viruses, using the denial of service, using all different types of digital electronic strikes in order to defeat an enemy, as Sun Tzu used to say, without firing a shot. That's kind of the Chinese goal in this. They're trying to develop these capabilities, as the U.S. is as well, and other states as well.
Now, here in Canada, we've seen the Chinese hack into our Foreign Affairs Department to try and find out strategic information. They've tapped into the Treasury Department, the Prime Minister's office, the Industry Department, trying to get all kinds of information, from diplomatic information to industrial information and political information. We've known this sort of thing's been going on. Your government has, I'm sure, faced similar attacks and hacks. What's the reaction been like in Washington to this new development of saying we're pinpointing satellites, we're looking at ways of conducting warfare in cyberspace?
Well, you know, this is just came up in a hearing yesterday with the nominee to be the next U.S. Strategic Command commander. As you know, the U.S. military recently created the first U.S. Cyber Command, which is a sub-command under the Strategic Command, the Nuclear Warfighting Command. And they are still having some problems in getting the legal authorities outlined. The problem there is that most of the internet and most of the communications networks are in private hands, so that the military really doesn't have much authority to be able to defend or to conduct offensive operations. So there's still a big development curve going on there.
The Chinese don't have to worry about that, do they?
No, they are already in the process of developing cyber warfare capabilities. You know, the people that I talk to in government, they say that it's not clear how far along the Chinese are. It is very clear that the U.S. military has gained some very important capabilities. That is both the ability to defend our networks as well as the ability to conduct offensive cyber attacks against foreign states, as well as foreign hackers and foreign organizations.
All right, Mr. Gertz, thanks a lot for joining us today, and we'll make sure that we put up posts linking to your article on our social media and elsewhere. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, share your thoughts on this. China in charge, red alert byline. That's on media.ca. More to come.